love, connection, trust, ***. These are the cornerstones of any meaningful relationship. The foundation upon which two people build a life together, share their dreams, and create a bond that feels unshakable. But what happens when that foundation begins to crack? What happens when one person's intentions aren't as pure as they seem? When love becomes a mask, and connection turns into manipulation? These are the questions that keep many of us awake at night, wondering if the person we've entrusted our hearts to is truly who they say they are. Today, we're diving into a topic that's as old as time but as relevant as ever. The signs that a man may be using a woman. It's a tough subject to confront, but it's one that needs to be talked about. Because let's face it, no one wants to feel like they're being taken advantage of, especially not by someone they care about deeply. Before we get into the specifics, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like something was off in your relationship? Like you were pouring your heart and soul into it, but the energy just wasn't being matched? Maybe you've noticed little things, subtle behaviors that made you question his intentions, or moments where you felt like your needs were being brushed aside. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of us have been there, and it's a confusing, painful place to be. But here's the good news. Awareness is power. By understanding the signs, you can gain the clarity you've been searching for. You can start to see the relationship for what it truly is, and from there, you can make decisions that honor your worth and protect your heart. So, let's get into it. In this discussion, we'll explore 5 key behaviors that often indicate a man is using a woman. These aren't just random observations. They're patterns that have been seen time and time again in relationships where one person is being taken for granted or manipulated. By the end of this, you'll have a clearer picture of what to look out for and, more importantly, what you deserve in a relationship. Because here's the truth. You deserve love that's real, connection that's genuine, and trust that's unwavering. Anything less than that isn't just a disservice to you. It's a disservice to the incredible person you are. So, let's dive in and uncover the truth together. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's dive into behavior number 1. The disappearing act. Picture this. You're in what seems like a great relationship. He's charming, attentive, and seems to genuinely care when it suits him. But then, out of nowhere, he vanishes. Not physically, necessarily, but emotionally. You reach out because you're going through a tough time, or maybe you just want to share something exciting, and what do you get? Radio silence. No response. No explanation. Just nothing. This isn't just a one-time thing, either. It's a pattern. He's there when it's convenient for him, when he wants something, when he's bored, or when he needs validation. But the moment you need him, poof, he's gone. And when he does reappear, it's often with a casual excuse or no acknowledgement of his absence at all. Here's the thing. Inconsistency is a red flag. A man who truly cares about you will show up. Not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. He'll be there to celebrate your wins and to hold your hand through your struggles. If he's only present when it benefits him, it's a clear sign that his priorities don't include your emotional well-being. Now, let's move on to behavior number 2. The emotional roller coaster. If you've ever felt like your relationship is a constant cycle of highs and lows, you're not alone. One day, he's showering you with affection, telling you how much you mean to him, and making you feel like the most important person in the world. But then out of nowhere the energy shifts. He becomes distant, cold, or even critical. You're left wondering what you did wrong, or if you're imagining things altogether. This emotional whiplash isn't just exhausting. It's manipulative. It keeps you off balance, constantly seeking his approval and trying to recreate those fleeting moments of connection. And here's the kicker. It's often intentional. By keeping you in this state of uncertainty, he maintains control over the relationship. You're so focused on trying to figure him out that you don't have the mental space to question whether he's truly meeting your needs. But let's be clear. Love shouldn't feel like a roller coaster. A healthy relationship is built on stability, mutual respect, and consistent effort. If you're constantly riding waves of emotion, it's time to ask yourself, is this what I deserve? These 2 behaviors, the disappearing act and the emotional roller coaster, are just the beginning. They're signs that something deeper is at play, and they're often indicators that a man is using a woman for his own benefit, rather than building a genuine, reciprocal connection. But here's the good news. You have the power to change the narrative by recognizing these patterns. You can start to take back control of your emotional well-being and make decisions that align with your worth. Because you deserve more than breadcrumbs of affection. You deserve the whole loaf. Stay tuned as we explore the next behaviors, because the more you know, the stronger you become. And remember, you are worthy of a love that's steady, sincere, and unconditional. Let's keep going. Let's unpack behavior number 2. The emotional roller coaster in even greater detail. Imagine this. One day, he's the perfect partner. He's texting you sweet messages, planning thoughtful dates, and making you feel like you're the center of his world. You're floating on cloud 9, thinking, asterisk, this is it. This is what love is supposed to feel like, asterisk, but then, almost overnight, the tone shifts. He becomes distant, unresponsive, or even dismissive. The warmth you felt is replaced with a coldness that leaves you questioning everything. This push and pull dynamic is exhausting, isn't it? One minute, you're feeling loved and secure, and the next, you're left wondering if you did something wrong or if he's losing interest. But here's the hard truth. This isn't love, it's control. By keeping you in this cycle of highs and lows, he ensures that you're always seeking his approval, always trying to fix things, and always emotionally invested in winning back his affection. A healthy relationship doesn't feel like a guessing game. It's stable, consistent, and built on mutual respect. If you're constantly riding this emotional roller coaster, it's not because you're too sensitive or demanding. It's because he's creating an environment where you're always off balance. And that's not a partnership. That's manipulation. Now, let's move on to behavior number 3. The financial drain. Money can be a tricky topic in any relationship, but here's the bottom line. A man who values you won't treat you like an ATM. If you find yourself constantly footing the bill, lending him money, or covering his expenses without any effort on his part to contribute, it's time to take a step back and ask yourself why. Maybe he always has an excuse. He's between jobs, he's waiting for his next paycheck, or he's just going through a rough patch. But if this becomes a pattern, it's not just about the money. It's about respect. A partnership is about balance, not exploitation. If he's quick to enjoy the benefits of your generosity but slow to reciprocate, it's a red flag that he's using you for financial gain rather than building a genuine connection. And let's be clear, this isn't about materialism or keeping score, it's about fairness and mutual effort. A man who truly cares about you will want to contribute equally, whether that's splitting the bill, taking turns planning dates, or simply showing appreciation for the ways you support him. If he's always taking and never giving, it's a sign that he's more interested in what you can do for him than in who you are as a person. These behaviors, asterisk asterisk, the emotional roller coaster asterisk asterisk, and the financial drain, are more than just red flags. They're indicators of a deeper imbalance in the relationship. They show a lack of respect, effort, and genuine care, and they leave you feeling drained, undervalued, and unsure of where you stand. But here's the thing. You don't have to accept this. You deserve a relationship where you feel valued, supported, and respected, not just emotionally, but in every aspect of your life. By recognizing these patterns, you can start to take back your power and make decisions that align with your worth. Because here's the truth. You are worthy of a love that's steady, sincere, and unconditional. You deserve someone who shows up for you. Not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Someone who values you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. So, as we continue to explore these behaviors, remember this. Knowledge is power. The more you understand these signs, the better equipped you'll be to build a relationship that truly honors and uplifts you. Let's keep going, because your happiness and well-being are worth it. Let's dive deeper into behavior number 4. The secret keeper. Imagine this. You're in a relationship, and everything seems fine on the surface. But there's this nagging feeling that something's off. Maybe you've noticed how he always angles his phone away from you, or how he quickly closes apps when you walk into the room. Or perhaps he's vague about his plans, giving you just enough information to keep you from asking too many questions, but never enough to feel like you truly know what's going on in his life. At first, you might brush it off. Maybe he's just private. You tell yourself, maybe I'm overthinking it, but over time, the secrecy starts to weigh on you. You find yourself wondering why he's so guarded, why he avoids certain topics, or why he seems to have entire parts of his life that are off limits to you. Here's the thing. Secrecy breeds mistrust. It creates a wall between you, one that leaves you feeling like an outsider in your own relationship. And while it's normal for people to have some level of privacy, there's a big difference between healthy boundaries and outright secrecy. If he's hiding his phone, dodging questions about his whereabouts, or keeping you out of key areas of his life, it's not mysterious, it's suspicious. Transparency is the foundation of trust. Without it, the relationship crumbles. A man who truly values you will want you to feel secure and included, not left in the dark. If he's more invested in keeping secrets than in building trust, it's a clear sign that he's not fully committed to the relationship, or that he has something to hide. Now, let's move on to behavior number 5. The blame game. This one can be particularly insidious because it often starts small. Maybe he forgets an important date or cancels plans at the last minute, and instead of apologizing, he turns it around on you. "Well, if you hadn't been so busy with work, I would have remembered," he says. Or perhaps he makes a mistake, but somehow, it's always your fault. Asterisk, "I wouldn't have done that if you hadn't made me so upset." Asterisk. Over time, this pattern of deflection and blame can wear you down. You start to question yourself, wondering if you're really the problem. You might even find yourself apologizing for things that aren't your fault, just to keep the peace. But here's the truth. This isn't accountability, it's manipulation. A healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and responsibility. If he's always shifting the blame onto you, it's a sign that he's unwilling to take ownership of his actions. And that's a major red flag. A man who truly cares about you will own up to his mistakes, apologize sincerely, and work to make things right, not twist the narrative to avoid accountability. These two behaviors, the secret keeper and the blame game, are more than just frustrating. They're damaging. They erode trust, create emotional distance, and leave you feeling undervalued and unsupported. But here's the good news. You don't have to tolerate this. By recognizing these patterns, you can start to take back your power. You can set boundaries, demand transparency, and refuse to accept blame for things that aren't your fault. And most importantly, you can remind yourself that you deserve better. Because here's the truth. You are worthy of a relationship built on trust, respect, and mutual effort. You deserve someone who is open and honest with you, someone who takes responsibility for their actions, and someone who values you for who you are. So, as we wrap up this discussion, remember this. Awareness is the first step toward change. By understanding these behaviors, you're already taking control of your own happiness and well-being. And that's something no one can ever take away from you. Let's keep moving forward, because you deserve a love that's as genuine and unwavering as you are. Let's take a deeper dive into behavior number 5. The blame game. Picture this. You're in a relationship, and at first, everything seems fine. But over time, you start to notice a pattern. Whenever something goes wrong, whether it's a missed date, a forgotten promise, or even a misunderstanding, it's somehow your fault. He has a way of twisting the situation so that you end up apologizing, even when you know deep down that you didn't do anything wrong. For example, maybe he cancels plans last minute, leaving you disappointed. But instead of acknowledging his actions, he turns it around on you. Asterisk, "Well, if you weren't so demanding, I wouldn't feel so pressured." Asterisk, or perhaps he forgets an important milestone, like your birthday or anniversary, and instead of owning up to it, he says, asterisk, "You know how busy I am. If you reminded me, I would have remembered." Asterisk. At first you might brush it off. Maybe he's just stressed. You tell yourself, maybe I'm being too sensitive, but over time, this pattern of deflection and blame starts to take a toll. You begin to doubt yourself, wondering if you're really the problem. You might even find yourself walking on eggshells, trying to avoid situations where he might shift the blame onto you. Here's the hard truth. This isn't just toxic. It's a form of emotional manipulation. By refusing to take responsibility for his actions, he keeps you small. He makes you doubt your own instincts, your own worth, and your own reality. And in doing so, he maintains control over the relationship. But let's be clear. A man who respects you will take responsibility for his actions, he'll own up to his mistakes, apologize sincerely, and work to make things right. He won't twist the narrative to avoid accountability or make you feel like you're the one to blame. Because that's what a healthy, respectful relationship looks like. It's built on mutual accountability, not manipulation. Now, let's bring it all together. Do any of these behaviors sound familiar? The disappearing act, the emotional roller coaster, the financial drain, the secrecy, the blame game. If you've experienced even one of these, it's time to take a step back and ask yourself some hard questions. Are you being loved, or are you being used? Are you in a relationship that uplifts and supports you, or one that leaves you feeling drained and uncertain? Because here's the thing. You deserve more than breadcrumbs of affection, you deserve more than the bare minimum. You deserve a love that's real, consistent, and true. A love that doesn't leave you guessing. A love that doesn't make you feel small. A love that doesn't take more than it gives. You deserve someone who shows up for you. Not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Someone who values you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. Someone who respects you, supports you, and cherishes you. So, if you've recognized any of these behaviors in your relationship, know this. You have the power to change the narrative, you have the power to demand better, to set boundaries, and to walk away from anything that doesn't honor your worth. Because you are worthy of a love that's as deep and unwavering as the love you give. Let this be your reminder. You are enough. You are worthy. And you deserve a love that reflects that. Asterisk asterisk, don't settle for anything less. Let's take a moment to reflect on something incredibly important. Awareness is the first step to change. It's the spark that ignites the fire of transformation, the light that guides you out of the darkness. And now that you've become aware of these behaviors, the disappearing act, the emotional roller coaster, the financial drain, the secrecy, the blame game, you hold something powerful in your hands. The power to choose. Think about it. For so long, you may have felt stuck, confused, or even helpless in your relationship. You might have questioned yourself, wondering if you were overreacting or if you were the problem. But now you see things more clearly. You understand that these behaviors aren't just random or accidental. They're patterns. Patterns that reveal a deeper truth about the dynamics of your relationship. And with that clarity comes power. The power to decide what you will and won't tolerate. The power to set boundaries that protect your heart and your peace. The power to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you, even if it's hard. Even if it hurts. Because you know deep down that you deserve better. But here's the thing. Power is only as effective as how you use it. You can have all the awareness in the world, but if you don't take action, nothing changes. So, what will you do with this newfound understanding? Will you stay in a relationship that leaves you feeling small, uncertain, and undervalued? Or will you choose yourself, your happiness, your worth, your future? This isn't about making impulsive decisions or acting out of anger. It's about making intentional, thoughtful choices that align with your values and your self-respect. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of a love that's real, consistent, and true. A love that doesn't play games or leave you guessing. A love that feels like home. So, take a deep breath. Sit with this awareness. Let it sink in. And then when you're ready, take the next step, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's having an honest conversation with your partner. Maybe it's seeking support from friends, family, or a therapist. Or maybe it's walking away and starting anew. Whatever you choose, know this. You are strong enough to handle it. Because here's the truth. You are not defined by the way someone treats you, you are defined by how you respond to it. And now that you're aware, you have the tools to respond in a way that honors your worth. So, use this power wisely. Use it to create a life that feels good, that feels right, that feels like you, a life where you're not just loved but cherished. Where you're not just valued, but celebrated. Where you're not just seen, but truly understood. Remember, you are the author of your own story, and with awareness as your guide, you can write a new chapter. One filled with love, respect, and the kind of happiness you've always deserved. The first step has been taken. The rest is up to you. You've got this. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more content like this. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What trait of a high-value woman inspires you the most? Let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, remember, you are enough, and your growth matters. See you soon.